Hey everyone, this is Michael. I'm in the pod 5x5 trying to stay alive. Welcome back to the round number one YouTube channel. Going to be talking about AEW today. Just two topics. This is going to be a short upload, I hope, probably less than 10 minutes. First topic, I'm going to be talking about some words of wisdom made by CM Punk and Jim Cornette. Second topic, we're going to talk about Britt Baker and how she wants to help AEW become more mainstream. So let's get into the CM Punk, Jim Cornette words of wisdom. So last week, amongst all the confusion, CM Punk dropped an audio message on his Instagram with some, what I think, words of wisdom. And I'm just paraphrasing what he says because I didn't write down what he said. Basically, what he said is... he was talking about the parasocial relationships that certain wrestling fans have with certain people is unhealthy, and that he said that he gets the tribalism, but, these are people who you don't know, and people who don't know you, so, why pick sides? And he says that, it's unhealthy and people should just go touch grass. Now, I find what CM Punk said to be words of wisdom. I think the most, especially in the age we live today, I really, to avoid getting yourself in big trouble in talking to people and having discussions with people, the best way to go about it is just to be diplomatic, be ethical. And I think the most ethical way, especially if you're discussing certain topics with people or any topics with people these days, people, what is not offensive to somebody today? Everything tends to be offensive to somebody today. So, the most ethical way to deal with people is to not pick a side. And what CM Punk says is truly words of wisdom that people should adopt. Don't pick any sides. And Jim Cornette and Brian Last, they also brought up that CM Punk audio drop. And Jim Cornette had some further words to say. He agreed what CM Punk said, but he also added on by saying, Jim Cornette, he said that he agrees, but if you want to take a side from people who actually know the person you're listening from. That's the best way to be, to go about things. Don't just take a side from a stranger. It's going to make you look foolish. Rather than take a side from the stranger, the better thing would be to take the side from the person who knows the stranger. So, words of wisdom. In my opinion, I think words of wisdom. Don't take a side, and if you're gonna take a side, don't take it from somebody who knows the stranger you're taking it, that you're listening to. Anyways, let's move on. Britt Baker recently her comments have been hitting the wrestling news websites. Most specifically, her quote. I have some quotes that she made. This comes from a YouTube interview from Jim Varsalon's YouTube channel. I got two quotes that I will discuss in detail. First quote. She says, I want to help grow AEW, the audience, more for the mainstream crowd, because I think with the professional wrestling fans, the diehards, we've got them, she said. They know our show, they love our show, and they watch every week. But I want to grow our product to the people who maybe have never heard of All Elite Wrestling, or who just doesn't know it exists. Now, the first thing I gotta say, and I find this very common with people like involved with AEW. Like, I don't understand why people in AEW think that because AEW is a wrestling product, the professional wrestling fans, the diehards, should know about AEW. You know, if you just look at the facts, you have a channel such as TBS, which is in the same amount of homes as the USA Network, that shows WWE Raw, and like Raw on a weekly average is scoring over 1 million viewers, if not close to 2 million viewers every week, while AEW is getting like diminishing number of viewers for Dynamite each and every week. Like, this was a show a year ago was averaging over 1 million viewers. Now we're seeing viewership in the 800,000s, in the 700,000s. It's ridiculous. And then to make that even worse is that they have a follow-up show after AEW called AEW Access, which for the most part it's only seen in America. I can tell you this firsthand. There are a lot of countries that, even though they have picked up Dynamite to air live or tape, they have not picked up the AEW All Access show. They knew this show was a dumpster fire when it was announced. And I can tell you this for sure. AEW Access, you can't watch it in Canada. TSN has not picked it up. And I heard, I don't want to, I'll confirm this, but I heard there's some stations in Europe that have picked up AEW Dynamite that have not picked up All Access. But when you're looking at this All Access show, I mean, this show does worse viewers than Dynamite. Dynamite is averaging maybe 800,000 viewers a week. This All Access show, which uses AEW Dynamite as a lead-in, is even worse. Like, you're looking at a show, All Access. This show is generating 400,000 or less viewers a week. And this is being... And AEW Dynamite is your lead-in. Like, you know, this shouldn't be happening. And if you don't know what AEW All Access is it's basically a reality TV show based on the backstage happenings of AEW. In America, this show airs typically after AEW Dynamite on Wednesday on TNT. The mainstream audience doesn't care about AEW. There are no stars from the AEW talent. There are no special guests that have been on AEW that appeal to the mainstream talent. And what's worse is their own audience, their own network audience is not even aware of AEW itself. I'm mostly talking about the TNT and TBS audience. Like, they have no clue. And I'll give you an example. I think it was a few weeks ago. I was watching an NBA game. It was Golden State versus Denver. And during this game, Draymond Green happened to stomp on another player by accident. And I was watching the NBA on TNT halftime show, and it was nothing but viewer send-in videos of WWE clips making fun of the incident of Draymond Green stomping on the player. I saw a couple of Stone Cold stomping on Vince McMahon uploads that were submitted by viewers to the program, and that goes to show you right there. Like, WWE does not have any type of programming on TNT, but yet the TNT sports audience is aware of WWE and not aware of AEW. Not one viewer sent in a clip that could relate to what happened during the NBA game. Like, think about AEW. Like, how many times you see people get stomped on? You tell me that not one NBA on TNT viewer could have sent in an AEW clip? And on average, AEW can be seen on TNT for the most part 2 hours a week, 2 hours every week, with Rampage and the occasional Saturday Night Dynamite or Battle of the Belt special. Now back to Britt Baker. She also said the following quote: "I've been taking acting lessons and auditioning for roles." She mentions her favorite show is Dancing with the Stars, which Chris Jericho was on, and she would like to be on the show as well. Chris Jericho has been on Dancing with the Stars, and it did diddly squat for AEW, did diddly squat for the viewership of AEW. She goes on to say that she wants to take, she's been taking acting roles, and she's been taking acting classes and auditioning for roles. Listen, as for her personal goals to become an actor and achieving them, like, I wish her very well, but you know, all these things of like, oh, I think I can go on Dancing with the Stars and be I can achieve more than Chris Jericho, or I can go on, or hey, I can take some acting lessons and then I can star in some B movie or C-list movie or D-list movie and become, and somehow that will draw attention to AEW. Like, you know, it doesn't work that way. The mainstream has shown that they don't care about AEW at all. As far as professional wrestling goes, it's WWE or nothing with the mainstream. Mainstream is not taking any chances with AEW. And, you know, the reason why the mainstream won't take chances for AEW is that AEW doesn't offer any draws. There's nothing appealing to any gender in terms of fantasies or desires from watching AEW. If you're just a casual viewer and you're a female, you turn on WWE SmackDown, you'll see like a Roman Reigns, and you probably say, hey, that's the attractive guy. Or if you're a male, you'll probably turn into Monday Night Raw, you might see Bianca Belair, or you might see Bayley and be like, wow, that's a beautiful looking woman. In AEW, like, AEW offers nothing for any gender, for any casual viewer to turn on and watch and see an attractive man, an attractive woman. And I hate to say this, but it's true, but, you know, that's what used to, sex appeal brought in the casual viewers to watch WCW on a weekly basis. Sex appeal brought in new viewers to watch the WWE. AEW doesn't offer that. And Tony Khan, he also has it confused with the Four Pillars and Wardlow and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Wheeler Yuta as being the future of AEW. You're not going to reach the mainstream with any of them. As for the women, you know, they don't compare to the women in WWE, and that's the facts. In fact, the women's division in AEW is outright a major negative about AEW in terms of wrestling and beauty. Probably the only beautiful woman they have on there is Jade. You know, Jade is very beautiful. She's very athletic looking. And, you know, in my opinion, she stands more of a better chance of attracting the mainstream audience. But, you know, she's being held back. She's being held back by the company. And man, just what would have been if Jade Cargill was in WWE? She'd be a way bigger star than she is right now in AEW. You know, look at this push she has in AEW. 500 wins as TNT champion, and she hasn't faced the world champion yet. She hasn't faced Britt Baker yet. She hasn't faced Jamie Hayter yet. Like, she hasn't faced Saraya yet. She hasn't faced Toni Storm. It's like, like, what is going on? This is the most marketable woman on the roster, and you're not making her. She looks special. She is special, and you're not making her seem special. You're making her seem like a loser. Well, anyways, that's it for my upload for today. We gone over to 15 minutes. I'm sorry about that, but I really appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you on the next upload. This has been Michael from the Round Number 1 YouTube channel.